Welcome to the Sophia Chang Show. March 2018 was the last time that I ever jumped, and I know this because there's a picture of it on Instagram. Remember when I used to do that? I don't either. Of me under the pier in Orange County. It's like one of the most iconic places. Britney Spears shot a music video there. It's the "Sometimes I Ride," you know that one. And that was the last time that my life was on the up and up. I had a plane ticket to Newark. I was going to move back to my beloved East Coast. My life was just looking up, and by July 2018, I was coming back from the hospital in a wheelchair to be homebound for the next 2 years. And that was the start of my social isolation. Everybody's been freaking out over this social isolation thing. And I'm just like, this is my life. Welcome to how I've always been living. No change. Status quo, basically. Except one major difference is you actually have all your faculties and your facilities. You can move around, you can cook, you can do things. I came back from the hospital socially isolated, so damn disabled that I had to pay thousands of dollars to hire people to come and scrub my own ass in the shower. Yeah, perspectives, huh? So you don't have it that bad. So two of the hardest things about having a chronic illness, especially accompanied by a disability, is number one, the social isolation, and number two, the lack of compassion and understanding. They go together. So I was incredibly lonely. I was pretty much dead to the world. This is what happens to you. And this is unfortunately a really common story. My own coach, who has MS as well, told me that when she was diagnosed, her 3 best friends stopped talking to her. And she just tells it to me like no bitterness, nothing whatsoever. Like it's just so normal. And it's so sad because it is so normal. Because that is what happens is all your friends that you think you have so many friends, right? I used to think oh my gosh, I'd walk into a room and I knew everybody. Everybody thought I knew everyone. And the second you get sick, that drops. Nobody wants to have anything to do with you. You'll get the occasional like, oh my God, are you okay? We should talk. And it is as vacuous as in LA, we should do lunch. It's all social media friends. They be people who want to appear like they're really caring by dropping you a line. But when you actually try to carry on some kind of relationship, something with depth, something ongoing more than just a text message back and forth, you rarely find people that want to engage with you that way. They're too busy for you. You don't matter enough to them. That's just reality. It's what we call priorities. You will prioritize what is important to you. And if a person and maintaining a relationship with a friend is important to you, you will do it. It's as simple as that. There's no life got in the way. I think that people, especially millennials, I'm talking to you, really need to take responsibility for your choices. And whether or not you stay in contact with somebody is completely under your control. So let's all be really honest here. If you don't contact somebody, they are not worth it to you. On the converse, if somebody doesn't contact you, you're not worth enough to them. It's something that I've had to face with my chronic illness. And I think that once I have accepted that I just don't matter to these people enough, and I went through the pain of that and being like, wow, I really don't matter to these people. Then you get to a point where you're okay with it. So there's this upswing right now in people wanting to reach out, and everyone's like, oh, it's so warm and fuzzy. and everyone's like has this great good-naturedness towards people, and I'm taking full advantage of it because I'm an extrovert, and so I love that people suddenly want to talk to me when I've been socially isolated for 2 years and people couldn't care if I was alive or dead. Suddenly everyone's like, you matter, we love you, and all this, whether it's like brand new people from the Harry Potter community, which is the only social media that I do because it pulled me out of depression. Everything else plunges me deeper, and social media has, makes me suicidal. I've done episodes, I've done a podcast on this one before, but Harry Potter, it saves my life. So either whether it's people from the HP online community that I just met or older friends who are touching in, this is happening because people are bored. They've never been socially isolated before, and it's freaking them out, and they're reaching out. Whereas I was socially isolated for 2 years and was like suicidally unhappy. I was so lonely. I was telling people, I haven't talked to people in a week. Can you please come visit me? And, they'll say, yes, of course. Let me check my schedule. And I'll tell them, look, these days and these days are free, please, just anytime. And they'll never get back to me. They won't respond anymore. I had to get used to that. So I think there's something very fortifying about learning what people really are like, that a lot of bullshit comes out of people's mouths, that they're not as friendly and caring as they would really believe themselves to be, that you don't actually matter to people that much, and it's okay. And there's nothing personal about that. I had to hire somebody to help me reach that conclusion, and it was very difficult. But now that I am there, I am stronger for it, so that when this ends, when this pandemic is over, when the mass socialized isolation is over, and I go back to my personal Sophia social isolation life as usual, it's not going to devastate me. It's just going to go back to the way it was. I'm going to be dead to people all over again. I'm not going to get all this upswell. So I'm going to enjoy it while it lasts and know that I'm going to survive when it's all over as well. My conspiracy theory, this is my fan theory, is that COVID was made by and for millennials so that they can finally not have to go anywhere, not have to talk to anybody, and not have to learn to have face-to-face social skills. Like, this is perfect for them. If you've got anti-MOG and you need someone to talk to, feel free to drop me a line on Twitter. I don't go on social media very much, as you can see by my recent episode, Digital Minimalism. However, I do check on occasion. And I'm not an expert, but I will be able to give you some of the resources that worked for me. Now, if you're a normie who wants to help out, there are over 1 million of us with demyelinating disease across, whether it's MOG, MS, or NMO, and we don't get that much funding, and it's not super, super high priority. So every little bit counts. I would recommend MSAA, the Multiple Sclerosis Association of America. They provided me my first cooling products, which I can tell you save my life. A lot of us have extreme heat sensitivity, and we really wouldn't even be able to leave the house once the weather goes above a certain temperature that is a lot lower than you think. So I'm appreciative of them for doing that. I'd stay away from that other organization that is just a pile of bull poo-poo. But MSAA, they do real stuff. So I'll drop a link below, and we really welcome all the support. And of course, the easiest thing you can do is pass this podcast on to people who have MS, NMO, MOG, or any other kind of autoimmune or chronic illness who is tired of hearing happy, shiny stories.